Thank you. I'm really honored to be asked to speak today. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So my name is Konrad Majeka, and I'm the president of the Baltic American Freedom League, representing Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Although 3 countries are very small, we are mighty. My personal connection to Ukraine is this. My great-grandfather, Mykolas Bežishka, was the Lithuanian signatory for the Declaration of Independence in 1918. But the connection to Ukraine is this. He started the Friends of Ukraine Club in Lithuania in the 20s. So I have a couple of remarks before my personal remark from Baltic American Freedom League. So first from Jaak Treiman, who is the honorary Estonian consulate. Estonia's government and the Estonian community know who initiated the war in Ukraine. We know who the aggressor is. We understand why Ukraine's membership in NATO is essential to any peace. Estonians fail to understand why Ukraine should not have returned its sovereign territory. We believe all these truths are self-evident, and we are astounded that anyone, especially in the White House, should believe otherwise. Sincerely, Jaak Treiman, Estonian Honorary Consulate. From the Latvian community, which holds their flag proud right over here to my left. Our Latvian community here in Southern California, across the United States, in Latvia, and throughout Europe, stands firmly with Ukraine 100%. Sincerely, Davis Reins, President of the Latvian Association of Southern California. My fellow Americans, today we gather not just as individuals, not just as citizens of a great and free nation, but as defenders of civilization itself. For the battle being fought in Ukraine is not just about Ukraine. It's about all of us. It is about whether we will stand for the values that have defined the free world, liberty, justice, and the right of sovereign nations to determine their own destiny. Or whether we will yield to the forces of tyranny and barbarianism. We stand at a crossroads in history. Just as in the darkest days of the 20th century, when free nations had to choose whether to appease or confront tyranny, we face that same choice today. And let me be clear, appeasement does not bring peace. It brings more aggression, more suffering, and more war. The world watched in 2014 when Vladimir Putin seized Crimea. We watched as he fueled war in eastern Ukraine. Now, he seeks to dismantle Ukraine entirely, to erase a free people, to rewrite history by brute force. And if we allow this, if we turn away, the Baltics will be next. Poland will be next. The spirit of democracy itself will be next. Ronald Reagan, in his famous 1964 speech, A Time for Choosing, said, "You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We will preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we will sentence them to the last step into 1,000 years of darkness." That choice is before us again. If we abandon Ukraine, we do not just abandon a nation, we abandon our principles. We abandon the idea that might does not make right. We abandon the belief that people have a right to be free. We cannot allow history to repeat itself. This is not just a regional conflict. It is a global struggle between civilization and barbarianism. Ukraine is fighting not just for its land, but for the very idea that civilization stands for something greater than raw power and conquest. If Putin succeeds, if we allow him to take what he wants, we invite a world where dictators rule by fear, where democracy is hollow, where freedom becomes nothing more than a memory. But it does not have to be this way. We can and must act. I urge each of you to make your voice heard. Call the United States State Department. Write to your representatives and senators. Demand that America stand firm with Ukraine, not with words, but with action. More support, more weapons, more commitment to the cause of liberty. We must tell our leaders that we refuse to accept a world where tyranny is rewarded, that we refuse to accept a world where aggression is tolerated, that we refuse to accept a world where civilization itself is left to burn. This is our time for choosing. We will rise to the occasion, as those before us did, or we will shrink into silence and regret. Ukraine fights for all of us. Let us fight for Ukraine. Thank you. And may God bless America and the free people of the world. Razom do peremoi.